Hi, it's me again, Rollo from Agent and Homes. Today we're going to talk about what happens after the valuation. So you've done the valuation on someone's home for sales or lettings, you've sat down with them, you've got all the information you needed, you've spoken about fees and price, and you've gone off. Do you just wait for them to call you and hope they're going to instruct you? I wish it could be that easy. The reality is not. You've got to imagine you are competing with 3 or 4 other agents. What are those agents going to do? Often they work for the high street. They will have a client service department phoning and chasing them. So you can't just sit back and wait for the instruction. There are certain things you have to do. So after you've left the home, as in our last film, we spoke about a quick text, a quick email saying, "Thank you for having me around, it was lovely meeting you, I will send you a report shortly." If you say that and you've left them your little valuation pack, the booklet we spoke about, you have to send them a valuation letter. You can't say you're going to do something and not do it. So again, at Agent and Homes, we have template valuation letters for you, valuation reports. This is a very simple documentation which recaps what happened on the val. So it starts with a little introduction, thank you for having me round, and to view your lovely 3-bedroom house, I love the high ceilings, I loved your gardens, and because you were taking notes on the valuation in your little book, you put nuggets in there for them to pay attention. They might have a cellar, they might have a particular garden, they might have a garage, they might have a car that you liked in that garage, there might have been something you were discussing with them that makes you stand out from the crowd, that creates that connection. Mention that in the introductory point of the valuation letter. And then obviously you talk about values, and as we spoke about, you've done your research and you're giving an opinion. Don't be afraid to give an opinion, and because you're clever at the valuation, you did ask them what was their opinion and what other agents mentioned, so you have a guide to work in. So if they had said, we had 3 agents in who quoted my house between 850 and 900,000, you're not going at 1.2 million. I mean, that would look ridiculous, and you're not going at 500,000 unless you really believe that the other agents were wrong, and that's based on your research and your expertise. So it's all very good coming up with a price, but you have to justify that price. So in our valuation letters, we always talk about comparable evidence for sales or lettings. When you list between 3 and 5 properties that have recently sold or let, and you give their address, you give their price, they don't have to be sold with you. This is about market knowledge and what is happening in that neighborhood. So you're saying, this is your house, the house 2 doors down sold for this 2 months ago, hence why I'm saying this price. Or, you want to let your property for this, there are 2 other 3-bedroom flats with garden that have recently let for this is what they let for. So you're not just pulling a figure out, of the sky, you are justifying it with comparable evidence. Then in this report, we talk about, the company, our ethos, how we find buyers, how we find tenants, our link with portal sites like Rightmove, Zoopla, all the other add-ons, for example, how we will help you with your onward move, how we will help them negotiate their future purchase. And then you talk fees. It's really important to talk fees and put in writing the fee you mentioned. Often people don't like talking about money, but you're a professional, you're doing a service, so you put your fee in. And then you send this letter via email to them. You also, in my opinion, if you're working in your local neighborhood, print it out and hand deliver it. So again, as part of our packs, we have lovely folders, you put your letter in here, you put it in a big envelope, and you hand deliver it through their letterbox. It shows you've made an effort. Hand delivery is so much more powerful than something in the post or on email. It shows you're taking time to go back to their home and put something through their letterbox. You might even at that point knock on their door and just say, "Hi, I'm just delivering my valuation letter," and have another quick catch up, make a bit more of an impression on this future client. Then follow up the next day with a phone call. Did you receive my valuation? What did you think? And then be quiet and let them talk. They will tell you yeah, I know it was great, but we're not thinking of moving for 3 months, or we're waiting for some more agents to come in. They might give you more information about what other agents have done, how some agents have promised that they've got buyers and can they quickly start now. And therefore, the more market intelligence you get, the better your chances of conversion. This is a vital conversation because what happens next? If they say to you, look, we need a couple of months to decide what we do, that means you don't call them every day for the next couple of months and piss them off, like, when are you ready, what's happening? Because that's what other agents will do. You diarise it to call in 2 weeks' time for catch up. And basically your future chasing is based on that instruction. Sometimes you might chase a house or an instruction for 3 months, sometimes 2 years, sometimes 5 years. Buying and selling houses is a long cycle. It's not like buying a cucumber. It's not some impulsive decision moving home. Sometimes people need time to decide. Sometimes they plan it around school years, seasons. So getting that and chasing is vital. I've had instructions which have come back to me after 5 years, 6 years, 3 months. Why? Because I didn't turn into a nutty stalker calling them non-stop. I chased them intelligently. I didn't always chase them about when are you going to instruct me to sell your house. Sometimes it was about, how's your search going? Do you want some advice? Or something has happened in the marketplace. For example, stamp duty change. Do you want an update on valuations? Or just to catch up, just to talk. The other day I was valuing a home and I noticed that one of their kids was building a computer, so I made a connection about how my son loves computers and build computers. Now both our children are in touch and playing Fortnite together and building computers together. I have a different connection with this potential client. Now when she comes to selling in the next 6 months, my odds of being instructed are much higher because I am no longer just the estate agent. I'm also her neighbour, the person she sees in the street, and I've become a friend. And that's how we are different to the high street and how we are bespoke and how we are estate agents for life. Most of your instructions will come from word of mouth. So it's, the valuation is your point to really come across. So the next time, the person you've met is at a dinner party when they come back after COVID, or in the park and one of their friends is selling, they'll say, cool, Rollo, he's a great guy, I met him the other day. And that's how you break that local network, and that's how you get instructions. So we've had a series of kind of training talks about working your network, preparing for valuation, on the valuation. This one's about what happens after the valuations. I'm going to do another one about fees and terms where I go a bit more in detail about your worth, what you do for the fee, and the transparencies in fees. So there's no hidden cost. So the person who's going to work with you knows exactly what they're going to pay. And that's a whole subject in itself, so we'll return to that later. Thank you again for listening.